Step number 8, optimization and growth. It's just the same old, same old. The work continues. You make videos, you test, you get results, you adapt, you change, constant communication. Hopefully by this point, you've got a consistent meeting set up. And I would say every week you should have a creative review meeting, which is where you are going to not just review the content that's being submitted, but you're also going to get whoever's in charge of running analytics or any kind of ways of measuring the content, and whether that's ads or it's just organic on social media, just numbers. We want whoever's in charge of that to be in this meeting, and they're going to report to us. We're going to see and analyze things along the way. That just comes with experience. That questions that will come up when I'm in these meetings, like one of the coolest programs that we use is called Motion. And this is an amazing way to measure ads and to see what's actually happening. So I recommend this to companies all the time. And just me telling them this saves them so much money, and it makes them so much money as well. It's a really cool feature. Look into it if you're not familiar with it, but it measures all kinds of creative. We will sit with companies and go through all these analytics, and then I'll ask questions, and then we will actually look at what's working, and then we'll have ideas into trying new things. So that's a cool thing to look into as far as results tracking, but the work continues. Have that meeting set up. One of the more recent examples of working continues, finding problems, solving those problems, and it will always happen. Just understand, going into these relationships, you will always run into issues. It's very, very rare you don't. Laced Hair is a client of ours. They want content for social media, but then they also wanted content for one of their side, jobs, Laced Library. So they're creating a course for their hairdressers to take, and we're creating content for that. The social media content and that content we found need to live in different buckets, and we didn't know that going into it. But as we shot the library content, they wanted it super low produced, one camera, one filmmaker, one light, a microphone, and just roll. It's very boring. I mean, it's kind of like this content, right? It's it's educational. But then they have this social media content on the other side, and they want that to be highly produced. They wanted some of our best filmmakers. They want the best lighting, the best editing, and that takes more time. So we had to separate those two things into different budget categories. And those are things we just didn't know until 3 months down the road. And we found a good solution. It's very easy for a client or someone, and just be aware of this, to come at you pretty hard when it comes to seeing a new invoice. And they're like, wow, that is expensive. Or especially if you're in the charging the hourly rate and you're trying to figure out the retainer. That's the other part about learning. And by month 3, month 4, if you're doing hourly, you'll probably get to a good point where you've figured out a good retainer rate. You'll send invoices and you'll get responses in the early days of just like, what is this? This is crap. Or they ask questions. Never, ever respond in a negative way, and just always be helpful and be on their side. Help them. The return on this is huge because it's collaborative. It's a business. Nothing's ever personal. So don't take it that way. Be helpful and find solutions for things like that. So that's just more of what we're going to be doing in step 8. Similar to most every step, we're just constantly learning. We're constantly collaborating. We're constantly adjusting based on what we're learning. These later steps in the onboarding process, this is all really important stuff that's hard to do until you've done it. And we've done it so many times. So if you want us to help you, we will hold your hand. We will coach you through all of this. Partner with us or hire us as your coach. We have a whole system for that. I want to help you. I want to see you grow. I want to make creating for you fun. Now let's take the business out of it and let us handle that side of it, or just let us help you by coaching you. So check that out. We'd super appreciate if you looked into it. Let's move on to step 9.